Fintech, finance and technology. Fintech is anywhere where technology is used in financial services. It is changing the financial sector the way the internet changed the written press. How much cash do you use on a day-to-day basis? When was the last time you walked into a bank? Even money is being disrupted with digital currencies such as Bitcoin. It hits you where it matters the most, in your wallet. Today, there are 800 million people using internet in China. You can no longer lose sight of what is happening in the East. China is a world leader when it comes to B2C in fintech. It is the world's largest retail and e-commerce market with over 500 million fintech users. With a fintech adoption rate of 70%, it is far ahead of the US and Ireland, which is roughly 30%. China is the largest innovation hub in the world. With this tech-savvy population and a mobile penetration rate of 90%, China has switched from being an imitator to an innovator. People say fintech in China is 2 years ahead the rest of the world. But before we dive into the future, let's understand the past. The Chinese fintech revolution is a consequence of multiple factors. Regulation. Regulators will give you a green light to conduct experiments with new business model or technology. Then they will wait and see. If it has negative consequences or impact the financial market, you will face losses and get fined. But it is up to you. You can do it. It is your responsibility to self-regulate. This led China today with a complex, diversified, and tech-savvy regulation, and also many Ponzi schemes and scams along the way. In Europe, we tend to prevent problems before they occur. But how can you achieve a 150% growth when you try to regulate the future based on 3-year-old solution and technology? It's too late. The world has already moved on. All legacy systems don't help much to integrate new technologies. We know this in Europe. China has moved directly from cash to digital payment, skipping credit card implementation. State-owned banks have largely underserved SMEs and low-income customers, leaving the door open to new solutions. Mobile payment transaction has jumped in just a few years from $8 billion to $22 trillion. The numbers just speak for themselves. Again, in comparison, US is only $110 billion. China is becoming a cashless society. All ecosystem needs funding. With a 300% annual growth, 50% of fintech global investment is done today in China. So a unicorn is a tech company valued at more than $1 billion. Today in the world, there are 27 fintech unicorns, 8 of which are actually dragons, with a total valuation that the rest of the world envy. So who are these tech giants? Meet BAT. So they're actually not fintech companies, but tech-fin companies. They are leveraging technology to penetrate the financial industry. They are often compared to Google, Facebook, and Amazon. They differ from each other by their core business model and targeted customers. Tencent is like Facebook and Nintendo on steroids. It is the most valuable company in Asia. It is the 5th largest company in the world after Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, and Microsoft. So do you remember when Pokemon Go got released? Like everyone was playing on it, it was crazy. Even my mother downloaded it. So basically, as it peaked, Pokemon Go had 25 million users. Tencent, top game, has an average of 70 million daily users. I mean, now Pokemon Go has roughly 5 million daily users. But Tencent is mainly known for its social app, WeChat, which counts 1 billion users in the world. 1/3 of WeChat users spend actually 4 hours a day on the app. An average user on Facebook spends about 20 minutes on it. Alibaba leverages its e-commerce platform to penetrate the finance industry. First, they entered digital payment with their app Alipay, and then expanded to financing and wealth management. They have more than 100 million users, counting SME and retail customers. Alipay and WeChat Pay own 90% of digital payment in China. The third one, Baidu, is one of the largest AI and internet companies in the world. So just like Google, it is a leader in internet searches and advertisements. It is the second largest internet search engine in the world, and I'm sure like nobody here has ever used it. So a few examples. Technology continues to penetrate even the most ancient tradition in China. So during Chinese New Year, Chinese people exchange red packets stuffed with cash. They give it to their colleagues, their friends, their kids. It's done every year. So in 2014, WeChat launched Lucky Money, the digital version of red packets. Users can send each other red packets filled with digital cash and games that allow users to compete. So basically, you create a group chat, you send red packets, and you see all the people tapping on their phone in order to win, like, as many red packets as possible. So in 2014, when they launched, it went viral, and 40 million red packets were exchanged. Last year, 42 billion envelopes were exchanged during Chinese New Year, which is only 6 days. So users sent 200 billion messages. Basically, it means that at some point, instead of spending time with their family, which is what they're supposed to do during Chinese New Year, they were actually sending more messages. So this is a perfect example of taking a beloved cultural phenomenon and turn it into a game to acquire new users at a very low cost. Single Day. Single Day is a very popular holiday where Chinese celebrate their pride in being single. What do you do when you're super proud of being single? You go shopping. So it has become the largest online and offline shopping day in the world. Within the first 5 minutes of Single Day, Alibaba sold $1 billion worth of merchandise. Alipay, so their payment part, has handled more than 1 billion transactions, and Alibaba's logistics arm has helped deliver 650 million packages. The event is now nearly 4 times bigger, the size of America's biggest shopping day, Black Friday. So as I said before, China is becoming a cashless society. 75% of Chinese people say they can live 1 month with only 13 euro equivalent in cash. In China, QR codes are the new cash. It allows anyone to become a merchant. So do you know how street musicians get tipped? So people just lift up their phone, and in second, really second, it scans their QR codes and send a few euro, or yuan here, to the performers. So even better, in some restaurants now, you don't even need your phone to pay. You can just pay with a smile. With facial recognition, you smile at the camera, and you pay your bill. Yes, I know. So even Chinese beggars are following the trend and accept QR codes. So what is going to be your next excuse? Sorry, my mobile is out of battery. So this is actually only the beginning. You remember when I told you that 800 million people in China use the internet? So remember, Europe and US is only 500 million. So basically, 800 million people, it's only 50% of the Chinese population. The bats, the three tech giants, only generate less than 10% of their revenue outside of China. China's tourism industry offers an easy entry point for Chinese tech firms. So international expansion, collaboration, and competition has already begun, actually. Just this week, Google invested $500 million in JD.com, China's largest retailer. And actually, this week, also in Ireland, Alipay is being tested in some luxury retail company. So we don't know what the future may hold, but we don't take cash might be the future of money. Thank you very much.